Hi everyone, in this video we're going to look a little bit more in detail at the elimination method of solving simultaneous equations. So we've got this system of equations here, so we've got 4x minus 2y equals 3 and x plus 4y is also equal to 3. So, how do we go about solving this? Well, before what we would do, remember, is we would add or subtract the two equations together and that would eliminate this variable in the middle, but we can't do that in this case because no matter how we do it, negative 2 plus or take away 4 is not going to work. So we're not going to eliminate the variable that way because these numbers are different. So we have to effectively make these two numbers the same. And how are we going to do that? Well, we've got 2. How do we make 2 into 4? Well, we can multiply that by 2. So we always get a number we're going to multiply by so that we can make the coefficients of the middle term the same. Okay? So we've got 2 there, we want to make it into 4, so we multiply by 2. So we write down our new equation underneath. So our new equation is going to be 4x multiplied by 2 gives us 8x, and negative 2y multiplied by 2 is negative 4y, and then 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. Now, we've just got another equation now. Okay, too many equations, no good. So at this stage, what I want you to do is just very carefully put a line through the equation that you've multiplied, so like the old one, okay? So this is a new one, this is the old one, we've multiplied this away, so now we've got two equations and we're effectively back to the situation we were in the last tutorial where we had the same number here. So now we can just do the exact same solution as we did before. Now, how we do that, remember, is we basically turn the equations into an upstairs, downstairs, or a bunk bed sum, or whatever we call them in primary school. Okay, so it's a little sum. We're going to add or subtract here. How do we decide? We discussed this last day in class, remember? So if these signs are different, then we add. Okay, so if these signs are different, then we add. Remember that. All right. Now, what that's going to mean is, if we follow this through, remember we work from left to right. So we go x add 8x is 9x, and then we always check this, remember, so carefully check it. So positive 4y add negative 4y, yep, that gives me 0, so I can leave that blank. And then 3 and 6 is 9, so this is working out rather nicely. So 9x is 9, so we can just jump straight in there to x is equal to 1. Now, what do we do next? Well, this sometimes creates a little bit of confusion as to what you do next, because you're going to take your x equals 1 and you're going to substitute it back into any one of these three equations. Alright? And the one we're going to pick is the one that looks easiest to us. Okay? So we can pick the top one that we've scored out. That's why we score it out very lightly. We don't erase it from all time. Score it out very lightly because you might want to use it again. But I'm thinking we're going to use this one this time. So we've just got x, so that's just going to sub in as 1, plus 4y is equal to 3. So that looks like a nice simple equation to substitute into. And I'm going to write down what I'm doing there. Okay? So I'm going to sub, short for substitute, x equal 1 into x plus 4y equals 3. Okay? So that's my next step. So I'm writing down what I'm actually doing, what I'm substituting in, and also the equation I'm substituting it into. Okay? So then x just becomes 1. So we have 1 plus 4y is equal to 3. Okay, moving on then, so 4y is equal to 3, and it's going to be minus 1 because the 1's going to come over and become subtract. We just have to be careful here. Whoops. So 4y is equal to 2. Now, common mistake, everyone's going to put y equals 2, because you see the link between 4 and 2 and they go, well, 2 2's are 4, so y is 2. Be careful. Okay, remember that you divide by this number, so it's going to be 2 over 4, which simplifies to 1/2. Alright, now, when we do a simultaneous equation, it's always very useful if you can come back at the end and then write down your solution. At one point on your page, okay? Because you're going to have your first part of the solution here, then some more working, and then your second part of the solution there. So the two parts of the solution are kind of separate on the page. It's good if you can bring them together at the end and write them. I usually draw a box around it or a highlighter or something. just to make it stand out, because you might have to use that again in the next part of the question. Okay, so simultaneous equations is an elimination method. We have a multiplication step in here so that we can get these two coefficients to be the same, so we can then use our method as we did before, and everything else is the same. Please notice in particular the structure of your answer and how you write things out. Okay, and remember, rewind me, replay things again so that you know what you're doing, and answer the quiz. Okay.